Please.
And we're on.
All right. Welcome. It's Move It Monday, the first Monday already of July. Oh my goodness sakes. Even though we had a holiday last week, I didn't count that Monday. So we're here on July 10th, and the first Monday of each month is the kickoff into leadership and focusing on skincare. So I'm very excited to have you all with us tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackie Geisinger. I live in Minnesota. And I have the privilege of being the sales manager for the entire United States general market. And so I'm going to involve a variety of you tonight to talk about royal jelly and your best tips on it. So I want you to just pause and think about that. If you had to write down, how do you share royal jelly? What are your best tips or practices for growing your royal jelly parties, your royal jelly stay royal clients, sharing royal jelly? How do you demonstrate it at tables and parties? We're going to do kind of a little bit of a group share tonight. So we'll come back with a little bit of training, of course, but we want to talk about leadership and how do I build this business, as well as how royal jelly and that wonderful, I love our $129 business kit, how can that really help our new consultants get off to a great start and ourselves continue to grow business? So I really wanted to kick off our leadership conversation tonight with one of our top leaders. And so I invited our superstar tonight. She's going to be our key speaker to talk about what has leadership been for her. Why did she ever join the business? Why did she become a leader? And she has evolved. I know this Jafra business from my heart. I want to talk about her this way. This Jafra business not only helped BJ become successful, independent, she was able to stay home. She's going to tell her story. I don't want to tell her story. But she's also blossomed into what she learned with this amazing Jafra business to be able to expand more joy in another business in her life. And I love that. And for those of you who maybe don't know me, I've been in Jafra for, I don't know, I can't keep track anymore, but it's like 37 years or something like that. It's longer than I actually act. So that's all I ever remember. But I just want you to know, in all honesty, Jafra really teaches entrepreneurship. It teaches you successful skills to be the best person you can be, the best person that you can bring out of others. And I've had the perk and privilege to work alongside BJ. I was out in the field as well, and I was the building district director right alongside BJ. And I always watched her, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's so good. She is amazing at parties. She still is today. She knows hostess coaching better than anyone I think I've ever met. And she really, truly does amazing customer service. Alongside that, she trains her consultants to do the same. And along that way, she's blossomed into a wonderful lifestyle and now has even started another side business that she loves to. I don't want to call it a side business because everything she does has full purpose. And it's really about just helping people become their best. And so I wanted to really invite BJ first to share why Jafra, why leadership, and how has it really led her into an incredible lifestyle. And then I asked her to not just share her story, but she has a great training in her other business to really teach women some simple daily disciplines to this business, because it does take discipline if you want to build a business. So I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. I want to turn this over to our superstar, an amazing leader, always top in the nation in selling, sponsoring, growth, and one of the most committed leaders and successful businesswomen I know. Please help me welcome Miss BJ Stromme.
Thank you, Jackie. Love you. You're awesome. So I'll just share with you just a little bit about what brought me to Jafra and maybe a little bit about why I moved into another avenue of helping more people. And just to remind most of you, if you don't know this, if your mic is not muted, every time you move or there's a movement in your house or noise, your picture pops up in the middle of the screen and it interrupts your speaker. So just so you know that, that's why your page or your picture pops up from time to time, because your mic's not muted. Anyway, just a fun little thing to know. I had my arm twisted to go to a party, years ago because I worked with this girl in an office, and we literally worked face to face 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. And she came in one day and she said, oh, you have to come to this party. You have to see this woman's skin. You have to try this product. I'm like, fine, whatever. 20 years old, no money, working 2 jobs. And I'm like, oh, but I'm a very loyal person. So if somebody asks me to do something, I will do it unless I can't. If there's something else I need to do, then I won't. So I went. I don't know what the woman said, but I fell in love with the way my skin felt, which was the royal jelly. And she said, well, guess what? You could get this for free if you're a hostess. So I'm like, sure, free's good. And that's really what hooked me years and years ago. And I used the product for a couple of years and I never called her back. It was Linda Mitchley. I mean, so even someone as influential and amazing as Linda Mitchley, might not stick in your head, but the product might. And the opportunity might, because what she did, which I have taken to this day and do my best to do, is she planted a seed in my mind because she invited me like at least 3 times to come and look at the business opportunity. Just come give it a try. Come, we're doing a meeting, come and check it out. And I kept telling her, no, I can't go, or no, the timing's not right. And then I ran out of product. And the second thing I tell my girls is the most important thing you can ever get is those little stickers you put on the top of your jars or the back of your bottles, because people will lose the book, they'll lose your business card, they'll lose their invoice a long time ago. But if they have a jar of something, royal almond oil cleanser that they love, right? It's gone. That's when they're panicking and they're like, ooh, where can I find this? Well, way back then we couldn't get on the internet and go, where's Jafra? You just couldn't. So I ended up calling her 2.5 years later and saying, you probably don't remember me, but could I maybe be a consultant? And that was the start of, I've been in Jafra now 36, it'll be 37 years, November 2nd. So, I mean, crazy. I never would have expected myself to do something like this because I wasn't a girly girl. I joke and I tell people I wore mascara and drove a pickup truck, right? So anybody, if they're introduced to Jafra and the product feels good on their skin and the seed is planted in their mind that maybe they could make some extra money, then it's up to them. And if it made a big enough impact, then we've done our job. So our job is just let them try the product, let them experience it, let them fall in love with it, and plant the seed that maybe they could do more than just get the product, for themselves. I think that's probably the start of being a leader, is just taking that responsibility of asking people, inviting them, letting them think about it, letting them try that. And wherever they fit within our program, right, we need all of them. We need consultants, we need hostesses, we need clients, we need people that just refer other people. So people can fit within your Jafra business anywhere that you need them to. That makes sense? So what else did you, leadership. Because of, and I'm going to do the back of the hand facial, right, Jackie, at some point? Okay, you tell me when, all right? Through all of these years in Jafra, the first thing that impressed me as a brand new consultant and a young mom, I had a brand new baby, I was working full time, Jafra offered a trip. And Jackie knows this, and anybody who knows me knows this. Trips really are my hot button because as a young mom, right, I've got a young mom right here with me, it's really hard to save up enough money to be able to go on an all-expense paid vacation.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Especially if you're staying at a really nice high-end hotel, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're eating out, and
Yeah.
you're going to do any kind of excursions at all, a boat trip or a shopping trip on the town. Those are kinds of things that we really couldn't afford as a young mom. So when they offered me the opportunity to go to a training for certain requirements, I was all over it. And that has been my hot button for 36 years. So every trip that comes up, if I can in any way, shape, or form, I'm usually working to try and earn them. So I am incentive driven. I am recognition driven, like many women. A lot of us will work harder for, maybe being recognized for what we're doing, because we don't get recognized at home, cleaning the house, right? Cleaning the toilet. That just doesn't, nobody cares. But in this business, you can do really not that much and get recognized compared to a regular job, right? I tell people a regular job, you work 1 8-hour day, right? And by the end of a week, you've only worked 5 days, 8 hours a day. You're still like I'm uncertain. You're still not certain. In this business, if you took those 8 hours and you actually taught like 3 parties, if you did 2 parties a day for a week, by the end of the week, you'd feel like a rock star. So it's not, does that make sense, Jackie? I mean, it's not difficult. It takes talking to ourselves, talking to our head, so we're not scared, or so that we find tools to get around those fears, and then knowing what to do with our time. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? What do I say? And Jafra, as a business, that's the one thing I would say. I agree with you, Jackie. Jafra teaches how to be a successful entrepreneur if you stay plugged in. And there are so many other things that you can learn along the way. Someone taught me years ago, when I had been in Jafra for about 20 years, I decided, there's probably some more I could learn. So I invested in some training outside of Jafra. And one thing I learned was my paycheck followed my personal growth. So I dug into that and I started going, okay, what do I need to do to change my mindset? What do I need to do to get around myself, get over my fears, get out of the house? And all of that helped me be far more successful and far more confident. And those are the things I teach people today. So one of the things that I offer, my other business that I started about 4 years ago, is right alongside Jafra. It's because of the love I have of working with consultants, whether they're established, whether they're brand new. I love seeing them succeed. I love seeing them reach one more little goal. Anything, whether it's like, okay, I made 5 calls today, or I talked to a stranger in the store today, right?
Yeah.
It starts small, but I love that. And because of that, I thought, what is it that drives me overall? What can I take to the marketplace? And it was the power of the personal mindset. It was really, how do I think? How do I stay in a good spot? How do I work from a happy place so that it's easier for me to talk to people? Because when you talk to people from a scared place, they're going to run, right? So I started a company called POP Mindset, Power of the Personal Mindset. And one of the disciplines that I share, and I'm going to share my screen. This is my 6 disciplines for success. So these are the things that I know are just basics. These are things I have to do and that I encourage other people to do and to just stay tuned into, because this will make a difference in whether or not you're successful with your day. At the end of the day, you want to be able to stop and say, what felt good? What did I do, whether I saw immediate results or not? What did I do that I know is going to move me forward? One of them is prioritizing your activities. Now, if you do it the night before, right, then you can go to sleep and not have to think about it. And when you do it the night before, your unconscious mind knows what you're going to do the next day. So it's really powerful. It's kind of a trick that a lot of people don't really think about, but there's things that happen in your unconscious mind when you're either asleep or involved in driving or washing dishes. I mean, there's things that you can do ahead of time to let your brain do some work for you, and that's one of them. Know what your most productive hours are of the day. For me, getting up bright and early in the morning, if I'm on a webinar, you're going to see my little fake picture. You're not going to see my face because I don't have any makeup on. I know that my most productive hours of the day are just a little later in the morning. When are you at your highest energy level? You don't want to be on the phone when you're dead tired. It doesn't work. And when are most of your ideal clients available, right? Mm-hmm. So we kind of look at, okay, who am I calling? When can I reach them? And you make notes so that you know when you can do that. Scheduling your day, it is a business. If most of us are stay-at-home moms, or we work another job outside. When you work a job outside the home, people don't call you in the middle of the day at work and say, hey, could you pick up the dog? It's done at the groomers. Or could you pick up? They just don't ask you to do those kinds of things. When you work at home, they think you have all the time in the world. So the only way for you to really, first of all, mentally know that it's a business is to schedule it. What do I want to do this week? Where am I going to go? Who am I going to talk to? Yes, you have to be flexible. I mean, if you've got kids, life is flexible. If you have family that you're working around, you have to be flexible. But if you don't have it at least planned out for the week, your brain doesn't know what you're doing next. Okay, and again, it's all about your mind. It's all about getting everything on track. And number 3, make 3 or more client calls a day. I learned this a long time ago. If I do all my calls in one night, or I do a lot of activity 2 days, and then I get activity on the calendar for the next week and say, maybe next week I've got 4 parties on the calendar. So then I don't do any calls that whole week because I've got so much going on, right? I'm busy enough. Well, then the week after that or the week after that, guess what? It's like down. So your business goes up and down and up and down. If you just connect with 3 people a day, even if you didn't get a call back, but you made the effort, calling them, leave a message, seeing them face to face, whatever, your business is going to be more consistent. And never stop learning. Number 4, you've got to be teachable. When we stop learning, you know, we start dying. You're either growing or you're dying. And I've been both, right, Jackie? I mean, sometimes I'm doing really good and sometimes I'm like, ah. So, you know, we're all the same way. We go up, we go down. But these are the things I know have helped me over the years. And Jackie can call me on some of them and she'll call me on a mindset like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I gotta go talk to myself. Number 5, taking a break. Again, we're talking about your mind really coming up with solutions. When I'm stressed, I can't think. When you're stressed, you're not going to think clearly. It's like when you lose your keys and you start to get panicked, they could be on the table under your nose and you won't see them. So take a break. Get up from the computer, walk around a little bit, go outside, you know, play with the dog, play with your kids, sing a song, take a break. If you can take a longer break, you know, if you can go for a little walk or you can do whatever brings you joy, it's going to let your mind relax. Your creative piece of your mind will relax and start to work with you again. So it's really important to do that. And 6th, recognize and reward yourself. And I got to tell you a little trick on me. When Jackie started coaching me, 15 years ago, I had just left my husband. And things weren't real easy. Things weren't real good. And she was coaching me on a system. You know, what do you do to recognize yourself? What do you do to recognize your hostesses? What do you do to recognize your consultants? And when she actually came to that piece where she said, what do you do to recognize and reward yourself? I don't know if you remember this, Jackie, but I just burst into tears because I was so used to pushing that if I wasn't on the phone or I wasn't in front of the computer working, I wasn't working. There was no value. I needed to be on the phone. I needed to be in front of people. And I had a real hard time. I had a real hard time taking time for me because life was not easy. If you can find a way to reward yourself for something small, I don't care if it's a, you know, Starbucks coffee or a bubble bath, sit down, soak your feet after the kids go to bed, anything, you know, read a little bit in a book, do something for yourself to reward yourself for the teeny little accomplishments that you set, because it will make an incredible difference in your emotional balance, and that keeps you going. I mean, we are emotional creatures. Even when we think we're making decisions on a logical basis, we're not. We're making decisions always on a emotional basis. So that's me. That's my 6 disciplines of success. And I'm going to, did I end up stop sharing? Jackie, if you
Yep,
come
you
back
did
on?
it perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
What do you need then?
Let me just ask you. So tell us, you've been full-time Jaffa for how many years?
31.
Wow. All right. So what is a normal day like for you? I know there's not normal all the time, but tell us a little bit about that so we see how exciting it is to build consultants and build clients at the same time and the gift that that brings you and the rewards. Tell us about a day in your life.
Okay. So let me first of all tell you what it was like when I had kids at home, because, you know, life changes. When I had kids at home, I was up, 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I took the kids to school. Then I came home and I was on the phone from about 9 to 11:30, consistently, at least 3 to 4 days out of the week, unless I had a meeting. So I was calling clients. I was making arrangements for one-on-ones or dropping in to see them. I was going to be in their area with my goodie basket. Would they like to see it? How are they doing with their product? Have they got any questions? I mean, client service. So that was my morning. Then I would go run errands, do whatever I had to do from probably about noon to 2:30 or 3. And that's when I would eat, drive through the drive-in, pick up my kids, feed them, and then go either to a class or a party. That really was my life. And I did anywhere from 2 to 4 parties a week. That's what I did because this was my living. I had to make money. So I didn't always have a supportive husband. I had to find ways for my kids to be okay. I had to find babysitters. I would interview teenagers that were friends of friends. Sometimes I had a teenager I could trust come in and watch the kids in the evening. Sometimes it was my mother-in-law. Sometimes it was, once in a while, it was my neighbor. You know, I did what I had to do because I needed to make an income. And so that made it doable. I know it can be doable because I've done it every space of my life. I've done it with babies. I've done it when I worked full-time and had a baby. I've done it when the babies were in grade school, high school, college. I've done it through a divorce. I've done it through moving 4 times. You fit it wherever it fits in your life. So now my kids are grown. I'm on my own. I have this adorable log cabin that I absolutely love. I hike, I kayak, I get outside and play. So a normal day for me, I get up probably about 8 or 9. And I do some work on the computer usually, like I'm working with emails or working with Facebook, maybe working on some things I'm trying to develop or getting pictures out to my consultants. On Mondays, I'm on calls, and I'm trying to reach my VIP consultants and check in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. How are you doing? What's up? Tell me what's going on. How can I help? I listen to what they say to me. This morning I was with Kat asking her, okay, what do you want to do? And she told me, I said, this is
I can't see who's all there. I can't wait to see you all soon. Sorry.
There you go.
I was just being selfish there. I'm sorry. Hi.
No, this is awesome because Kat sponsored Dawn, her mom, and Dawn's been one of our top consultants. And so it's just really cool to have the team. It really is. And Frances, this wonderful one behind me, I sponsored Frances when my son was a year old. So her and I have been friends now for 29 years, 28 years, something like that. Best friend. I mean, she's just awesome. So, I mean, it's so cool. I've got a new one and I've got an established one. So life and Frances is the same way as me. We've put it wherever we needed to in life. And so now, work in the morning. Sometimes I'm doing errands or networking. I do a lot of networking right now because of both businesses. So I will do a networking meeting probably a couple times a week. And I do coffee dates. I do coffee dates with my hostesses because that is the strongest way to get a party to hold. I want to be face-to-face with her. I want to treat her to coffee. I want to go through, what do you want me to bring? What do you want this party to feel like? Do we want to do Facebook? Do we want to do, right? And we did Facebook, and Kat can attest to this, okay? So we did a Facebook video, her and I, and we put it on her website. And then we went to do her party, and we were going to Skype everybody in because she had people all over, but the internet connection wasn't so good. So we compromised. I'm doing FaceTime on one phone and she's doing FaceTime on the other with 2 guests that were out of the area. And we just made it work. Yeah. So, but the coffee dates are huge for me. For my hostesses, for my new leads that I meet in networking, because when I sit down with somebody face to face, I have a specific, on my Pop Mindset website, there's the word, there's a resource notebook tool. And I developed that so that I knew what to ask somebody. And when I sit down with somebody, I don't care whether it's for Jafra or for just they're an entrepreneur in some other business, I want to know who they are. What is their personality? What flock do they fly with? What's important to them? What should I have my radar tuned for? And when I do that, the better I get at interviewing other people, the easier and easier it gets when I'm to the very bottom to say, hey, would you just keep your eyes and ears open for, and I feed right back to them what they said they were looking for, if it's something I can fill a need for. And most of the time, they're like, well, what about me? Right? That's what you want. So that brings new people my way all the time. I've had people from Jafra get involved in Pop Mindset. I've had people from Pop Mindset get involved in Jafra because it's whatever fits for them. And that's a day for me. And in the evening, I'm either am doing a party, we're at a meeting, or I'm online doing something. That's my normal day. And then I take off when I can, at least once or twice a week. And I either go kayaking or hiking or lay out in my pool and in the sunshine. And I love my life.
I have to say, you have to watch her on Facebook. It's so fun. She is very disciplined. These are not just things she wrote. These are BJ. And it's so true. She is so disciplined. She ensures she has balance to life and business and has joy every day helping people get what they want according to their needs, be it a hostess, a client, a consultant, a leader. And that is true spirit from the heart. And that's what makes her so successful. And I love every branch of entrepreneurship you do because it's just helping others become their best, like you've become. So I have goosebumps. So from my heart, thank you for sharing your honesty, your wisdom, and the true story of how Jafra and Jafra business for clients as well as leadership with consultants in a district has weaved throughout your life, because there's a lot of chapters, there's more ahead, and those are the stories that make us all help other people, right? And because we all have different chapters. So again, BJ, just thank you, one, for teaching us and just being honest and real and having your team with you. Love that. They have their workshop tonight. So it's so cool. I'm like, how cool. She can like do this all at the same time. So great to have you all there. They come to us from the Portland, Oregon area up there. So, so great to have them all together. So BJ, I'm going to turn this from leadership just into, I know the joy you've had all along has been Royal Jelly as well. It's one of your heartbeat, passionate products and product lines. So share with us, if you would, just kind of in our final little segment here, on how do you share Royal Jelly? What are some tips or techniques, however, whatever you wanted to share about Royal Jelly tonight. So take it back over to the Royal Jelly piece now.
Okay. All right. So I have a story I tell about Royal Jelly. If I'm at a party or a one-on-one, I have a little story I tell. And I can tell that quick story if you want, or I can share with you a little bit about what to do with Royal Jelly samples.
Whatever's from your heart, tell your story and show us some demos. That's awesome.
Okay. All right. So here's I'll do both. All right. So if I'm out and about, I'm carrying, we all know we have a variety of things to work with, right? So the easiest way that I train almost all my consultants is, if you don't know that well, even if you know someone, when you're first getting started, the easiest wording is to say, hey, I'm doing a test market. There's a new product I haven't really got a lot of experience in yet, but I love the way it feels on my skin. I would really love if you would try it out for me and just tell me how does it feel? What do you think of the smell? What do you think of the formula? Just tell me what you think, but I would really love your input as a test market. Almost everybody will do a test market. You're not selling them anything. And there's something very comfortable about the wording test market. There's no pressure to it. So what I would do is, if they say, well, sure, then I say, well, okay, what is the most important thing to you? Would it be maybe hydration to the skin? Or have you got concerns with like dark spots from the summer? And whatever they tell me, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to give them the appropriate one, all right, of either one of these sachets. And all you have to carry with you, a little bag, and you can carry the samples. I would take the samples off the back of this, or carry one of these full size, all right, whichever you want. The value of doing the demo with this, if you're showing them this, is then they understand how to use this. I mean, so many people are visual. So if I had these little packets just pulled off, you can get these little bags at Michael's, okay? They're just teeny little Ziploc bags, and one of those sachets would fit right in here, so it wouldn't dry out. So you could cut the top off and have these rather than the big sizes, and you could say, well, let me show you how to use that. And you just pull these out, you would open them up, and you borrow a hand, like this hand right here, see this beautiful hand? And I would take a little wet washcloth and get the back of it wet, put a little bit, here's the cleanser, this is what you're gonna use, and see, you only use a teeny tiny bit. Put the cleanser on, rub that around, she's gonna rub it around, take another cotton ball, wipe it off. How does it feel? Great. Okay, that's just the cleanser. Tiny bit goes a long ways. Wash it off really well with water. And then the extra hydration, because you were thinking your skin's a little on the dry side. So this one, you just, again, see this teeny little pea-size amount, put it on her hand, let her rub it around. How's it feel? You're always asking, how's it feel, right? You never want to start a question with a D. Did you like that? Do you want that? Don't you think that's awesome? Let's just skip those, because that's like having your mother say, did you clean your room? We automatically go, no, I don't want to clean my room. But if you say, how does that feel? What do you think? How's that compare? If you had it, would you use it, right? Those things. What, when, where, how, why, if. And the last one's my absolute favorite. So I'm going to give you a little drop of this. This is Royal Jelly Longevity Balm. Rub it in. Tell me what you think. So here's my little story. Here's what I want you to know about Royal Jelly, and here's how I can help you understand why it's so incredible. Royal Jelly comes from the bees. So we'll pretend that this is my little beehive, right? So if this is our little beehive, you get to be my queen bee. So if you're the queen bee, what does that make me?
My worker bee.
A worker bee. Oh, joy. How fun. So guess what? There's also little nurser bees. She's a nurse, so this is appropriate. The little nurser bees make this food called royal jelly. It has almost every non-vitamin to man, every natural antibody. It's incredible. It's food for the beehive. Now, the little nurser bee is going to bring you a little blob of food, and it'll last you 3 days, and me a little blob, and we'll both eat it for 3 days. Then we hatch, right? I go on to eat honey. I'm a worker bee. How long do you think I'm going to live?
2 days.
Whew, 2 days. How fun. Joy. You're right. I tell people we live 1 day, which is what I lovingly call the windshield experience. You know, I hatch out of the hive into a semi. I'm dead. Now, if I do everything right, dog doesn't eat me. I don't sting anybody. I don't run into the sliding glass doors. If I do everything right, I might live 3 months. You, on the other hand, queen cat, you're fed royal jelly every single day of your life. You're immune to all diseases. You're attended to 24/7. You're nurtured, fed, comforted, groomed. You, my darling, are going to live 5 to 10 years compared to my 3 months. Which would you rather be? Feel your hands. You have a queen bee hand and a worker bee hand. Which one do you want?
Queen bee.
There's my story.
I think you talk faster than me.
I probably do.
Oh, I love your excitement. I'm kidding. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's ready. Oh my gosh.
Especially when I'm thinking we're on a time limit. I'm like, oh, I better hurry.
No, you're fine. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. And again, what I love is keep it simple. Just test market. People are just open when it's just comfortable. And you have found absolutely your comfort. You're excited all the time. You could tell people are writing in. It's informative and it's fun and it's simple. And it is. It's, getting things through stories. You've done a great job with storytelling tonight and connecting to people. And again, that's what that brings us back to. So again, I want to say thank you to our guest trainer tonight. So thank you, BJ. You're awesome. You rock. Thank you to all of you in the room. So I'll see you all in a few weeks. So very looking forward to seeing you out in Portland coming soon. But thank you. You are amazing. And we are grateful for your training. And of course, you knew this was going to happen. Everyone wants your handout.
It's easy. It's free.
Exactly. So if you're more than willing to share, we'd love to post that on the Jafra Amber Region Consultant Team and Leader Team. And you can just go ahead and upload that there as you wish and just share that. But thank you. The requests were coming in. I have texts. I have chats going on. Because you know what? Sometimes just those simple disciplines, as much as we probably think about it, know about it, it really, truly is what we want to get to the best disciplines that lead you to that balanced lifestyle that you've created. So again, thank you. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much, everyone out there in Portland, and BJ for being our rock star. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we come back together today, for some of you that might be joining us, what I just wanted to show, BJ kept this so simple, so fun, so informative, and we're so appreciative. I just wanted to come back to a couple of pictures. I love to kind of bring back some thoughts, and then we're just going to open up the ending here to any other ways we share royal jelly and the opportunity. So, so what I put together today, just a little bit something different. Forgive me, I'm going to go share my screen really quick. And let me grab that. And let me start with this. The purpose of what I wanted to share, I am a direct selling freaky geeky. I love direct sales. I love self-employment. It has been a passion of mine all my life. I've started 4 other companies on my own. I'm very similar to BJ that way. Haven't done them for years. I ended up doing Jafra as the key. But the truth is, there's something so exciting about, creating and inventing. So I love the best model of business that I've ever found has always been direct sales. So I study direct selling news. It's called The World of Direct Selling. I get their email every week. And I love reading stories. I love reading countries. I love reading competition. So I wanted to kind of talk a little differently today, and then we'll come back to just some key tips on leadership and how do you share the opportunity with others as well. But I wanted to talk about what I read in this article today. There were probably 4 or 5 articles that I absolutely loved. And the first one on top was about Vorwerk, our parent company. If you listen to the opportunity call tonight that Scott did, he talked about our amazing longevity, why when people are looking at direct selling today, you want to be very proud talking about 61-year-old companies. There's a ton of startups, ladies. There's a ton of competition and gentlemen, but I will tell you, being proud to say we're 61 years old next month is a big deal. We even have a bigger deal than that. And it is that you are a part, our parent company, we're a private company, we're not publicly held. What does that mean? We don't owe stockholders money. We have money to spend. We are a very, very, we're debt-free, we're a very strong investment company. We invest in people and processes for successful businesses. We have 8 different direct selling companies. Get this, we're 133 years old. That's huge. Jafra by itself is 61 years in the US, but we are completely 133 years old with Vorwerk. So study that a little bit. Be proud out loud because people are looking into direct selling every single day and they want to make smart choices. Just like Scott said, check out competition, have at it. But many of them, and you know what's so funny, I read in the article, Scott came to us from Rodan and Fields. Did you know the average person starting in Rodan and Fields invests $4,900? I didn't know that. I've read that. And they only have a few products. I'm like, wow, we don't have to have that inventory pressure. We don't have to have a huge investment. As Scott said on our opportunity call, $129 business kit is our most expensive kit. I don't care about the other 2. I know we have them as options, but I got to tell you, Royal Jelly is who we are. That is really the foundation of Jafra, and it's the best thing we have going, just like BJ talked about. But look at this about the article. So I'm just pulling a few pages of the articles and why people are looking at direct sales and a couple of factoids you might like. Vorwerk has been a direct selling organization, like I said, for 133 years. We have 640,000 people in the field of direct sales. That's huge. 60,000 of them alone are in Thermomix. But look at this, and household appliances like vacuum cleaners. If you look, we have a couple different types of companies like that. However, mainly 580,000 make up Jafra's organization. That's a lot of representatives across 18 different countries. This is pretty cool to be proud of. We are about a $3.5 billion company. We share second place among the largest direct selling private entrepreneur or enterprises in the world. Amway is the only leading larger than us. It is also in Europe the leading direct seller by far in sales of any other type of product. So I want you to be really proud as you go out and talk about the company, who you are, and what we have. These were just a few things I thought were fun because as people talk to us about the business or we're talking about the business and you're sharing your story like BJ did, again, why are people choosing direct sales? I always felt like if I knew, I was empowered. And so I'm all about being confident and empowered women like BJ talked about. And I think that just comes through, feeling like the business decisions you're making and what you're offering makes you par none. And it does. Direct selling, by the way, has been coming to a place near you since the Avon ladies. We all remember that, right? Knocking on the doors centuries ago. But you know what? The words fun and free and flexible, women becoming, and men, a part of a community and being your own boss is still huge today. Really what you're selling is dreams. Like BJ said, what do they want? What difference can this make in their life? Asking questions, not do you want to do this, right? That D word. I loved when she said that. That's awesome. But direct selling has been a channel Not everybody might know what direct selling is, but if they ask you, it's these simple terms of direct selling is a channel. Products are marketed to consumers with no middleman. It's really direct to them with personal service. It rewards independent distributors for selling a product or for finding people who themselves sell a product. You have or and. The sale of that product takes place in many ways today. You heard BJ's story. She's been doing parties all her life and still is today, every single week. But that has changed. It can be done at workplaces, in the park, and increasingly the biggest demand is online. All sellers and direct sellers do have to start with a starter kit. I challenge you to go out and look at startup fees. Even myself, I was reading about LuLaRoe today, I was reading about Rodan and Fields, and I went, oh my gosh, it's a lot of money for people to invest. I am most proud to say everyone can afford to invest in a Jafra business. The only thing they can't afford is to not try it. And that I believe in my soul. You will never know if this is a fit for you until you join the business. Because if we raised our hands right now, most of us probably joined because we loved the product and wanted it for ourselves, but found that it started selling itself. The more we used it, the more we shared it with people and gave those samples away and demonstrated like BJ taught us. Entrepreneurship is still today the dream. It is about women and men being their own boss, being a part of a community, and it's empowering people's lives. Traditionally, women embrace the flexibility and social aspects, but you know what? That's changing. Because of the entrepreneur spirit and the millennial generation, direct selling companies are embracing this whole online generation with product diversity and a more balanced gender mix. So don't limit, because what I love most about our Royal Jelly line, it can be used on every age, including a teenager, all the way to someone in their 90s and 100, and it can be used by women and men. And you know what? It is true. Men have sometimes much more skin to share. And so again, really important to know that that mix is really growing. And Royal Jelly is perfect for every age and every skin. These are some of the quotes I found in many articles. I'm always a word person. I love to feel confident with words. If you're worried about job security, interested in extra income opportunities, or looking for a change in your professional career, your worries stop here in direct selling. I love those words. Those are great posts and storytelling things on Facebook. Don't be worried about job security. You want extra income. You're looking for a change in your career. We've got it. Be knowing that digitally aware, that demographic, we're embracing social selling by way of Facebook Live parties, Instagram. You heard BJ talk about it. That was perfect. Lori Alley did a great training on both the consulting and leader team, just basics of Facebook. And Jafra's doing a lot of Facebook ads out there. So we're grabbing that, and even more to come with our new computer coming this fall. They're hosting websites that you can still build really good relationships without being face-to-face. It's why direct selling is becoming that new business model. The millennials are starting direct selling businesses increasingly more and more, and they're bringing their skills and love of social media with them. So let's get out there and be social, right? There's great earning potentials, flexible hours, training, and support. There are a growing number of women quitting their traditional office jobs to work in MLM companies from home to spend more time with their children and less money on daycare. Mommypreneurs is on a rage again. It's out there. So be thinking with your teams. Where are they? What do we do? And how do we get that reach socially and out and about? Because it is growing. The Direct Selling Association even shared that 15.6 million people did direct sales 10 years ago. Fast forward to the total stats they had last year. It's already grown by 25%, or actually 33%. It's over 21 million just in the last 10 years. We've been around for hundreds of years. So the growth is exponentially there due to social, due to digital, due to the mix of men and women, and due to, again, this whole demand of mommypreneurs. Just like BJ demanded to stay home with her kids, like many of us, you know what? It's back and it's raging. The biggest age group doing direct selling are women, and now we're adding the men, right? Between the ages of 35 to 45 and the ages of 45 to 55, and these millennials are jumping on board socially. So the key that you heard that they're looking for is those opportunities to provide for the family, be home with those kids like BJ started, choose your income, have flexibility, a chance for satisfaction, just like BJ shared in her story, fun with their friends, a rich social life with a social business, and products that last a lifetime. They're not a one-time purchase. They constantly need more and more. And the best part is, as Scott said earlier on our opportunity call, not kidding, it's one of the richest commission programs out there, but they don't know that unless you share that. Being proud to have 25 to 50% commission. The companies, again, I read about today, most of them maxed out at 35%. And you've got, again, when you start sponsoring those consultants, you make 10 to 17% commission. As you develop leaders, you're making 6 to 13.5. I'm not here to get detailed, but leadership really pays. It pays you richly as you watch them grow, like BJ shared about her consultants growing one little step at a time, personally, financially, and professionally. But it really is how you build that long-term income that has kept people like BJ in this business for 30-some years, because you've got teams and you've got clients. With Jafra, the best part is you're making that 50%. So each month, every week, as you're meeting and doing those daily disciplines and building new clients in your business, no matter how you choose to do it, you're again making 50% on those clients. So imagine though, as you share the business, again, if you had these clients and they decided to start the business like you, and they each had 30 clients like you start in your first 90 days, you build 10 new clients a month. You can do that in one party a month, 2 parties a month, or a couple clients a week, just by sharing online, sharing your catalog, sharing along the way with samples like BJ showed us. But if you had, look at this, if you had people who all started their own business and they each had 30 clients, you're now making 10% commission on your 30 clients because you make that back on your own clients as well. So if you were, again, selling 500 retail every month or more, you are making commission back on that. But then every consultant who starts their business, there's no middleman. Jafra pays you instead, just like we said about the direct selling model. What does that mean? That means if 4 people each had 30 clients, you make 10% on their clients while they're making 50% on their clients. So the beauty of this is you make money sharing the products and then earning referral commission bonus of 10%. We have 8 different levels of leadership in our business, from manager all the way to ambassador. I don't want to get caught up in details. All I want to show you is you develop those clients, you work with your hostesses to have successful parties so she gets more free and discounted products. You do the same with your consultants, finding out what they need and coaching them to what they do in their business and doing it right alongside you like BJ is tonight with her team. You start with a team of 4 at our manager title, but you keep adding more every month to that team and invite them to do the same, to make money selling and building their team. And these are the average commissions across the nation of our leaders. Whether it's $200 extra a month or it's up to $24,000 a month, that's how you richly get paid, by sharing the opportunity and sharing the products. So this is just an example of, again, if you had 3 team members who all started with 4 or more, you would, again, keep growing because you get paid on the consultants you bring in and your team brings in,